Nigeria's political landscape is heating up ahead of 2027 elections with a new challenge for the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. This coalition, primarily operated under the African Democratic Congress ADC and sometimes referred to as the All Democratic Alliance ADA, aims to address growing public dissatisfaction with the current administration under President Bola Tinubu. The coalition's prospects are debated with both optimism and skepticism from stakeholders, with the big question being whether they can put up the task of dislodging the ruling APC in 2027. Is it possible, or will it be a bridge too far for them? This is the Eastern Eye. I am Alex Ogbodo. Eastern Eye, we are, of course, a program that aims to raise the political, social, and economic developments around us. Tonight, I'm joined by Dr. Nick Obi Ozonsi. He's a Public Affairs Analyst and former chairman with the local government area. Also tonight, we're joined by Ebubeagu Okafor. He is a Public Affairs Analyst. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on the Eastern Eye.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you, viewers.
All right, let me start the conversation with you, Honorable Dr. Nick Obi Ozonsi. The ADC, you have a coalition. They have someone who's been pronounced as interim chairman, and of course, interim secretary, if you like, or acting secretary. You have David Mark, and you have Rauf Aregbesola holding sway in those political party now. So when you look at what is happening, a lot of people are criticizing the fact that they haven't done their homework before gathering together. Is there anything like doing your homework when you are trying to galvanize as an opposition party?
I think what is happening today in the Nigerian political system actually x-rays the bitterness of Nigerians and the yearning of Nigerians in terms of the current leadership. And the situation entails what I should call a fire brigade approach. Looking at what happened recently in Abuja, when the formation was going on, and they were like taking it as a ADA coalition. Before you know it, the venue where they are supposed to meet were flooded with policemen, soldiers, and what have you to disrupt the maiden meeting of the coalition. But smartly, the coalition that later metamorphosed into ADC took a different venue and they had their meeting. And it was traced to one of the supporters of the president who has one leg in APC and one leg in PDP. They wanted to thwart that meeting. But as God will have it, that meeting came to hold. So I think time of talking about the putting house in order, I think that time is gradually coming to pass. I don't think the new party that is coming to exist has any room to put in order. Rather, they should be forging ahead with their proposals, making their manifestos, known to Nigeria. It could also be recalled that the reason why these people, or rather the opposition political parties, wanted to disrupt the meeting was to ensure that that meeting did not hold. And secondly, there was a plan to ensure that that party did not have a smooth flow into party registration. How do I mean? The president is in charge of INEC, and he's in charge of anything that goes to INEC. And whatever thing he says is final, even though he may not come directly to attack the electoral body. So the plan was to disrupt that coalition, stop them from registration, and of course, ensure that the plan to register ADA was frustrated. But smartly, they jumped out of ADA and then formed the coalition that's called the ADC. So their house, I wouldn't say their house is completely in order, but if I should quote late Humphrey Nwosu, when the June 1993 election was cancelled, Nwosu said, Nigerians are still at the learning process of politicking. So every political party are still at the learning process. You also believe me that, I'm sorry to say this, that the so-called the ADC, the PDP, the APC, the Labour are still recycling of political gladiators. If they push you out of one party, you jump into the next political party. So I think they know what they are doing. And there's no reason to say that they have not put their house in order. Except when we begin to talk about where the presidency is shifting to. The North is demanding that Atiku Abubakar, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, should be allowed to contest. The South is demanding that Peter Obi should be allowed to contest. To some extent, some people are talking about RFI and group. And what Michibika Amechi also from South is demanding if he's given a chance. But the whole thing boils down to common understanding. That common understanding is that North goes 8 years, South goes 8 years. And South has not finished their 8 years. They are just into ending their 4 years. So if there should be any change, I think the South should be allowed to produce the next president for another 4 years, assuming if the current president is defeated, he should be defeated by somebody from the South and not somebody from the North. I think that is where the quagmire,
all right,
holds them down.
Okay. All right. I mean, just before we get to 2027, there are still issues moving around within 2025. Ebubeagu Okafor, the APC are still saying that they are not feeling the heat. But every day they are talking about the coalition. Is this a sign that the coalition is actually getting into their head? The coalition seems to be living rent-free in the heads of APC stakeholders, despite their dismissing the coalition.
There is nothing like coalition for me. As far as I'm concerned today, there is no coalition. What we have is defection of disgruntled members of one political party to ADC. And in ADC, what you will find here is an amalgamation of disgruntled contestants who have been serial contestants of all positions since 2003 to date. So having said that, I want to assure you that APC is very well ready to respond to all issues. And I want to assure you that defection to ADC is well understood, because before now, ADC was very empty enough to accommodate the political baggages that is coming to it. So that will not be enough to say that it's a coalition. Coalition between which party and which party is not a coalition. And when we begin to talk about this coalition, the coalition has been established. First of all, there was a former national chairman, Okenwosi Koloka, who has been there. Was a presidential candidate, Kachuku, and now there was a change of national chairmanship. Who doctored this change? Who is behind this change? Who is the new owner of ADC? It's not a coalition. It's a single party. I want to be corrected, either by you, by Ozonsi, or members of the disgruntled contestants. It's not a coalition. It's an assemblage, an amalgam of disgruntled politicians. Look at them. All of them are desperate. Those people are desperate to be president. President Obasanjo just said that he was suffering from small man syndrome. And Atiku Abubakar, who has been contesting for president, has been vice president for 80 years. What did he lost in Aso Rock that he want to pick again? All those men are very desperate, and so many more. So this 2025, I still laugh at them when they said that they are having coalition. Let them gather. But I know that this Christian, I'm a Christian, a genuine Christian, a member of Assemblies of God. You know, the Bible said that although they shall gather, but because their gathering is not of the Lord, certainly they shall scatter.
All right, we'll take a quick break here on the Eastern Eye. When we return, I'll get more of the thoughts of Honorable Nick Obi Ozonsi. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Eastern Eye here on Afia TV, a program that x-rays the political, social, and economic developments around us. My name is Alex Ogbodo. Honorable Nick Obi Ozonsi, do you think that whether Ebubeagu Okafor says it's not a coalition, that he says it's a gathering of disgruntled politicians, but are you saying that those in the APC are not desperate? Because here you are, we are in 2025, but your party...
2027.
We're in 2025.
Okay.
We're in 2025, but your party, the APC, is saying they're already talking about 2027. And someone is arguing, shouldn't they be discussing governance? Why are they concerned about the coalition? I mean, how do you respond to Ebubeagu's submission of that?
Alex, it's good to let the viewers know the foundation of APC. It was CPC, it was SDP, it was some other political parties that came together to form APC. Buhari was of the bloc of CPC and the rest of others. So there was nothing like APC as a party. So if my good friend and brother Ebubeagu is saying that the coalition, there was no coalition, they had gone through the politicians, it means that APC currently are disgruntled politicians that are running around to form APC. We knew when people were fighting who takes over the leadership of APC. At the end of the day, the CPC bloc took over the APC. So, in Nigeria, there's always this alignment and realignment of political parties. I don't want to go so deep into it. If you look at when we have the SDP and the NRC as organized by Ibrahim Babangida, at the end of the day, the two political parties collapsed. And then some started aligning. Some went into PDP, some went into APC. So, does it mean that those who are in APC today are disgruntled because they left their political parties to form APC? So, Alex Ogbodo, I'm challenging my good friend and brother. It is the same reorganization and organization of different political parties. And I told us in this studio that people tend to form or migrate from one political party to the other for about 6 reasons I gave in this studio. One is that when they cannot realize their dream in that party. One is when they feel that the party is not treating them well. 2 is when, they see reasons that the party is not, responding to their manifestos and the things they promise Nigerians. Number 4 is when you see like minds. Let me just stop at that. But I want to tell Nigerians that I am not a member of AGC. I still remain a member of the PDP, just like Ebubeagu, who is one of the strong members of APC. I have not moved into that lady said, but you should not start criticizing people who have like minds. Look at the caliber of human beings that are in that ADC, and we're saying they are disgruntled. Is it Atiku Abubakar? Buhari contested for presidency for more than 4 years. Let us not be saying that Atiku have been contesting and they have not made a way. So, my brother, the current formation entails that Nigerians will see their manifestos and see what they are coming up with. The only thing people are clamoring for is that Nigerians are suffering. The same market a bag go to buy garri and fuel. That is where I go, not minding his political party. Everybody is crying. The very day the president was sworn in, he changed the current fuel price. And he's still telling hard on Nigeria, even though we're having adjustment in fuel prices. So, what am I trying to say? Look at El-Fai. El-Fai is a man that speaks his mind. It doesn't matter whether he gets or not. Look at Peter Obi, a man with a clean slate of governance. Look at David Mark, a retired general with full respect. I mean, begin to count Gino Melaya, a former senator, and the rest of them. I mean, time may not permit me to start counting them. Is it Rauf and the rest of them? It does not mean that if I cannot agree with my friend, then I am disgruntled. No. There's a reason for people to balance ideas and changes. Anyway, when the time comes, Nigeria will come to the field and they will demonstrate what they want. But more importantly, we should not say that people in ADC are disgruntled. Let us watch them and see what they are doing. It is too early to start criticizing their reason for formation. Thank you.
All right, so Honorable Dr. Obi Ozonsi says that this is just morning time. Ebubeagu Okafor, do you think that your party is overreacting because of the emergence of ADC? What is your party afraid of? Because are you having a feel that this is a reenactment of 2014 when your party emerged on the scene and took the political scene by storm and, of course, upset the sitting president? Are you afraid the same fate might befall your party in 2027?
Well, let me be clear about this. APC is being merely amused by the gathering of this disgruntled element. Let me tell you why I say that this is not a coalition. When we wanted to form a coalition, ACN, as a political bloc, came together with CPC, who has a presidential candidate that has been scoring over 12 million votes in 3 consecutive elections. Then we have AMPP that has been in the Zamfara state, in Kebbi state, and other states in the north, 3 states, and the Borno state, 3 states in the north. They came. Then we also went to Abga, where P2B was at the helm of affair. We brought in Owole Rocha Sokorocha. And most importantly, we went to PDP that we are in the incumbent at them. We used Atiku Abubakar, who was disgruntled because he lost primary election in PDP. He led Waziri Tambuwa, Bukola Saraki, Rotimi Tibika Amechi, and other strong PDP members, and joined the opposition and destroyed PDP. After the 2015 presidential election, and Atiku lost in APC, he went back to PDP. Now Wike took charge of PDP and dealt with Atiku Abubakar with a deadly blow in 2023 presidential election. And he became disgruntled with PDP. The same thing is applicable to P2B, who was the only governor elected under the platform of ABGA, or Progressive Grand Alliance. P2B was everything in ABGA. He lost favor with ABGA. He went to PDP and became Atiku Abubakar as vice president. After becoming vice president of Atiku Abubakar, he became disgruntled with Atiku Abubakar. He entered Labour Party. In Labour Party, he created the crisis in Labour Party and brought a beautiful lady, Nenadi Usman, to be the caretaker chairman. He abandoned his governor, Oti Alex, and he moved on to ADC. Now, the Labour Party are calling P2B, resign from Labour Party since you already disgruntled with the party. Nasiru El-Rufai was a member of APC, was from CPC bloc. He served as 8 years governor. He was nominated to be a minister. But the security report indicted him and declared him unfit to hold a public office to a clean party like APC.
But he was an APC governor for 8 years.
Yes.
He was an APC governor for 8
yes,
years.
and when he was nominated, when security could not clear him, they dropped him. He became disgruntled with APC and left. The same thing is applicable to the former Senate president of PDP, that is of Nigeria, that is David Mark, who was also known to be a leader of PDP. When his party, PDP, lost in Benue State, His daughter won a House of Representatives election, beating his party, PDP. And also, Samuel Otom, the PDP governor, lost the election in that state. He became also disgruntled with the PDP. So there is nobody. If you look at, now the same thing is applicable to Rotimi Amechi. I have never seen anybody in the history of Nigeria that was 80 years minister. It was only that Buhari that you have somebody serving 80 years as a minister. The same thing is applicable to Rotimi Amechi. When he was shown by Wike that he is a political weakling in APC, even though Wike is still in PDP, but the fear of Wike in River State is the beginning of a political wisdom. And he knew that he cannot contend with the Wike's political inferno. He decided to run for safety, became disgruntled with the Rivers politics. He has even vowed to serve 4 years term. So desperate. But I know that what he's going for is to be Atiku Abubakar's vice presidential candidate, which Atiku is giving serious consideration to. In view of the humongous amount maybe in his pocket. But I cannot say now. Another thing that will show to Nigerians that this party is an amalgamation of disgruntled persons is when El-Rufai will bring his ambition on the table, Atiku will bring his ambition on the table, Amechi will bring his ambition on the table, Rotimi, Amechi will bring, and Peter will be and the rest of. We will see the scattering of the disgruntled men. And their retirement will give a lease of life to Nigerians. So I promise Nigerians, keep faith in APC. It is though difficult today, but it's for a better future.
That's right. I mean, that will be for Nigerians to decide. Yes. Honorable Obi Ozonsi, now that he has referenced Rivers State, he has referenced two strong men of Rivers politics, Rotimi Amechi and Wike. Let's talk about it. Wike was referenced to have said that Peter Obi will never be president. I would like to know what your thoughts are about this. Is it up to one man to decide who will be president?
Alex, I won't have delved into this matter, but I hate talking about political vagabonds and prostitutes. Do you hear me? I hate talking about political vagabonds and prostitutes.
No, we're on TV, so I understand how you feel.
I am coming.
Let's keep the words.
A political party that nurtures somebody from local government chairman to governor, to call it whatever position that somebody deserves. And at the end of the day, you became a political prostitute. You are serving your party and you are serving another party. And because maybe let me call it connections and arsenals, I'm aware that Nyesom Wike assisted some of the governors to be elected under the PDP by his financial weight. I'm also aware that even in the National Executive Council of PDP, or even call it all the arms of PDP, he assisted most of them. And when he now sees reasons to support the current president, he turned upside down the strength of PDP in Rivers State, where election was won by a political party. And overnight, it is no more the political party. It was all over the televisions and everywhere. And what do you say? At the end of the day, it was difficult for his own political party, PDP, to discipline him because of these people I mentioned. Even the BOT, he has his hand there. So I don't want to begin to talk about people who are not faithful. I don't want to talk about people who are not straightforward when they are dealing with a fellow human being, not to talk about the political party. I'm sorry to say this. I know the minister for Federal Capital Territory more than 30 to 30 something years ago when I was in Rivers State. Are you getting me? So he can play his political prance and do whatever thing he likes. But that does not change the mandate of the people. Time is coming when Nigerians will say, yes, this is where we stand. So for somebody to come out and begin to talk about Rotimi Amechi, who nurtured Nyesom Wike from kindergarten to whoever, whatever thing he is, before he got this current appointment as a minister, even no respect, nothing. As a local government chairman, he never remembered. When they made you governor, he never remembered. Even when you make Nyesom Wike the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the person that made him would later say, why did I make him the minister? I knew some APC members, let me use my friend's language, who are disgruntled because of the appointment of Nyesom Wike. But because he's playing the spoiled game, everybody's clapping hand for him. The president went for a program in Abuja, and then when they asked him, don't you think that there are some of your ministers or some of your supporters that are weighing more, powers even more than you? He said, like who? The man, the interviewer said, like Nyesom. He said, I doff my cap for Nyesom Wike. Do you understand? How can Nyesom Wike be a member of the PDP? And he's holding sway in PDP, and he's also working for APC. We knew that what they are planning to do, let me now open it to Nigerians, is that Nyesom Wike want to hold PDP hostage. That is why Samuel Anyanwu got the position of the secretary of PDP to ensure that the PDP members who are opposed to Nyesom Wike does not get nomination because it is secretary that signed the nomination in PDP. So for your information, APC, using their power, they are holding down now the PDP. That's why many people are moving. They are holding the APC. They are even holding Labour Party because of Abure's issue. So they want to close up those areas, and that is why I clap my hand for people who saw tomorrow like Nostradamus. Okay. And they are moving out of the party to get where they will have their say. You can imagine even up to when they were forming this ADC, there are some people who were still saying, when they want to form AGA, they planned to destroy them by not registering the party. Okay. So, please, let us not just talk about, because if I open this situation in Rivers State, where a governor, an elected governor, was suspended, because of power, which is not contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. At the end of the day, they are now calling him for, for peacemaking, where he spends only one tenure, where he cannot bring in any local government chairman, nominate anybody. Now, the plan is to ensure that that bulk vote coming from Rivers State goes to the same people. The plan of attracting Kwakwaso is to ensure that the bulk vote in Kano goes to the same people. The plan of trying to use somebody, apart from the current governor of Lagos State, is to ensure that these 3 states that have bulk votes, they vote for the current president. But let's watch what tomorrow brings. It is not standing in the studio and saying that some people are disgruntled. The disgruntled people are the people who go to the field and vote and will say the result.
All right. Yes. I'm sure you understood the question.
Exactly. On that, I'm saying that it is only the Almighty God who will decide who becomes what at any given time. And it will be immodest of me to begin to say that somebody will not be the president of Nigeria. But this can be attributed to a political statement, which His Excellency Governor Nyesom Wike is entitled to his personal opinion, which he has also vented. And having said that, I want to touch on very few things that my friend and brother here, very highly respected, that was Nicholas, doctor and the engineer. What he has said about Nyesom Wike is beclouded with uncertainty, refusing to place the fact before the public. The fact was the rotation of presidency between the northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria. And Atiku Abubakar, a northerner, wanted to replace a northerner. And Wike said, no, you cannot do that. That's where when Wike came in and did the needful. And brought the straw in PDP that broke Atiku's camel's back. That's very correct. If not that, if Atiku had allowed the southeastern candidate, that is P2B, to contest, Obi would have been the president of this country. But Atiku refused. And a governor of Enugu State was chairman of the zoning committee who refused to zone the presidency to the southeast. It's not a Wike. Wike has no political position in his character. Since 1990 today, he has remained a faithful member of APT. The only thing is that of PDP. Since 1999 to this moment, Wike has been a faithful member of PDP, fighting for the soul of PDP. In fact, if you don't respect Wike, I respect him. Wike was man alone. Atiku brought Nuyoche Ayu as national chairman. Wike removed him. Atiku, a presidential candidate, run away from Wike. Atiku, David Mark, a general in the army, is running away from a civilian, Nyesom Wike. And everybody, few people are here saying, Wike. Praise the man's political capacity and strength. If you have listened carefully to Ayo Fayoshe, when Fubara was instructed, I said, Fian Wike. And as if he was a prophet. Everything about Fayoshe said about Wike and Fubara has come to pass. Everything. Wike, before the state of emergency was declared in Kano State, the 24
in River State,
the 27 members of the State Assembly has approached court. And the Supreme Court stopped only at saying that remove the governor. Supreme Court said, and I quote, that there was no government in River State, and what we have there is a despot. How can you run a state without members of the State Assembly? How can a governor engineer and make sure that a status of assembly was bombed and refuse that the State Assembly will not do their job, constitutional duty? So having said that, I want to praise Nyesom Wike for his political capacity, single-handedly, looking around. Even Damagun, as national chairman, said that people were accusing Wike of buying me. I am for sale. Buy me. Atiku could not buy him. The governors of PDP could not buy him. The governors of PDP cannot suspend Wike. They have nothing to do, only to complain. Let me tell you, complainants have no stake in politics. They will continue to complain. They will have their say, while those who have the political might and watchers will have their way. I want to assure Nigerians that politics is not a joke. Politics is not a game. The inordinate ambition of these 7 men that are crooked in politicking in Nigeria, that their inordinate ambition will destroy amalgamation of...
So typically, Ebubeagu Okafor, if they hadn't made a move to form a coalition, they wouldn't have been disgruntled, isn't it?
No. When Labour Party was reigning in 2023, I said that in Enugu State, the majority of members of Labour Party were disgruntled members of PDP. Am I correct? You have hosted me when I said that, Alex, on radio. I said that immediately after the election, Labour Party in Enugu State had 16 members out of 24 members of the State Assembly. Within few days, they begin to defect back to PDP. Today, Labour Party don't have a member of the House of Assembly in Enugu who has not defected either to PDP or APC. They are like sheep without shepherd. They have scattered in the mountain of politics of Nigeria. They are seeking for where to hide. Good of them and reasonable members of Labour Party in Enugu State, who were level-headed, who want the interest of the people of their constituencies, they came to APC with the sole intention of generating the dividend of democracy from the federation to their constituents. So what I'm trying to say is that Wike has done his bit. I have never seen a single person in Nigeria who has achieved the political feat Wike had achieved in PDP. A man alone. The presidential candidate of PDP, he kicked him out. The national chairman, Yoche Ayu, he kicked him out. The vice presidential candidate of PDP, Ifeanyi Okowa, he booted him to APC. And so on and so on. One man alone. It is not that because he is Wike. Praise him for his political capacity and wisdom. And also nurse the wound of defeat he has inflicted on PDP and those who are disgruntled. He has done a lot of things that will make members of PDP to be disgruntled. And they are disgruntled. Like Abure, when Abure was in power, Lamidi Apapa was saying that Abure is not a good man for the job. Obi supported Abure. Now they were saying that APC were behind Lamidi Apapa. Now Abure is after P2B, and Obi has run away from Labour Party. Labour Party today will never be Labour Party again. And up to today, Obi is not sure to contest election in ADC. If he loses the presidential primary, he may return to either Labour Party or look to where to save his head. But I am telling you that APC is amused. We must keep watching and keep calm. What is very difficult in Nigeria, I appreciate the fact that Nigeria have many challenges, economic challenges today. because of policy changes, because of removal of fuel subsidy, because of removal of energy subsidy. But certainly, tough times never last, but tough people do. Nigeria, we are building a future in APC, and that future is to a sustainable economy. Now, foreign investors are looking into Nigeria, car manufacturing companies, and so on and so on and so on. Tax laws are being revigorated to make sure that people pay their taxes. And I'm telling you that these men, their ambition will scatter them. What we have in Nigeria today is APC and other political parties. I respect Wike. Today, what is Wike saying? Why did Atiku leave PDP? Because Wike said that PDP shall, in parentheses, zone the presidency to southern Nigeria. That Wike did not say zone to me. He did not say zone to Tinubu. He said zone the presidency, and the Atiku cannot withstand that. They cannot. I don't want to hear southern Nigeria. The same thing is applicable to. So let us watch at the people that will be joining them. Okay. Even PDP governors, Wike is waiting for them, and members of the National Assembly, because PDP have no crisis. Atiku has failed to create faction in PDP. Wike is in charge. Wike is in control, and he who controls the system determines where to go. He who pays the purpose determines the tune. All right, APC today is not afraid of ADC, but we are watching how it goes.
All right, Honorable Obi Ozonsi. At the end of the day, you've heard Ebubeagu's submission. He's saying that the APC are not afraid of anyone, and you've listened to his analysis. As we gradually wrap up this conversation, how do you respond to that?
There's every reason for APC to be upset, even at midnight. As we are talking now, if this new formation, which some of us have not gone into, is not anything to write home about, why is APC panicking? Why are they not sleeping? I am asking this question. If they are just a coalition of disgruntled men, according to my friend, APC should allow those disgruntled men. I've told us time without number that he who holds the sway can do anything. The power of incumbency matters so much. Very soon, Wike will be the only man standing between APC and PDP, the two parties they live in. Wike will be the only man who will say, okay, take both levels. Do you hear what I'm saying? So, the Nigerian system of governance has said that South take 8 years, no, take 8 years. Gentleman's understanding, not in constitution. Why Abubakar, when Yesu Wike was contesting with Atiku Abubakar, Atiku Abubakar said, okay, if he loved the South, since the Southeast has not contested the election, allow the Southeast to take over the presidential nomination. Wike insisted that he want to be him. When himself and Jonathan are almost a close state brothers. If Wike loved the South, why didn't Wike allow the Southeasterners to produce a presidential candidate? I don't want to go into the. Everybody knows what I'm talking. Are you getting me? My happiness is that in Enugu State here where we are, it does not matter where the wind blows to. We stand behind the governor of Enugu State, who has performed and who is still performing more than any governor of any other political party in Nigeria. It is because it's open. It's not because he's a PDP man. I've said it times without number. Barrister Peter Mbah is not a governor that advertises project on the board. Barrister Peter Mbah is a governor that demonstrates infrastructural development on the ground. I counted it. Go to go and look at the face of new presidential. Go and look at the International Conference Center. Go and look at the Enugu State International Hospital. Go and look at the special schools all through the local government. Go and look at the load of. That is what is governance. It is not we will do this, we will do that. APC, you people are in charge. Put your track on the ground and demonstrate to the people what you can do for the people, and don't continue to promise that we will do this, we will do that. There was this economic program, there was that. It is time, after close to 4 years, to put your wheels on the ground. And more importantly, before I round up, the issue of governance in the coalition should be left for the coalition. They will sort out themselves. Whoever they bring out to contest the presidential election, fine and good. It is not APC to come and do what they use wicked to do in PDP. They can't do it there. These men they have settled themselves and they are watching what is happening in APC, what's happening in PDP, so that they will not import it into the ADC. If they take me as a member of ADC, I will rush in there. So, my brother, we should say, call a spade. Yes, so we can never wanted anybody from Southeast. It's like Ebubeagu, they have made him a special advice.
All right, in just a minute, because
I wonder how a highly respected Honorable Nicholas Ozonsi, Dr. Nicholas Ozonsi, will descend from national politics to state arena. Very unfortunate, but
it's a reference.
The fact remains that APC, by the grace of God, shall win the 2027 presidential election. Yes, and I praise the opposition. I've been in the opposition for a good number of years, and I was determined to dismantle PDP, and I was part of dismantling of PDP. Having been the Director General of Enugu governorship campaign election in that 2015, we did everything we can. We contributed our votes, and APC won that election. I want to say that the coming in of these disgruntled men is good for the polity, so that nobody will be talking about one party. When these men are gathering as men, Asiwaju and the APC are gathering political party and the men of substance. I commend the governor of Anambra State, who has said that Abga will not field a presidential candidate, but will support the presidency of Asiwaju. I know Alex Oti is not following P2B sheepishly. I know that Peter Mba may not also dissipate his energy in fighting Wike and PDP. He may not dissipate his energy there. They may be moving to APC, or they may move to Abga, or they move to Abga, where Abga will not have a presidential candidate, and Southeast vote, M block, will go to APC. Certainly, the Southern Nigeria and Middle Belt is a safeguarding for APC. I want to assure you that President Asiwaju will win the Southern Nigeria votes and move into the Middle Belt. Finally, taking advantage of the Kano voters and the Maiduguri voters. Certainly, the result is already known.
Oh, I have to thank you so much. We're out of time. Ebubeagu Okafor, Public Affairs Analyst, and Honorable Dr. Nick Obi Ozonsi, Public Affairs Analyst and former local government chairman. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your analysis on
Thank you for having me.
Eastern Night tonight.
And thank you, my friend, Ebubeagu Okafor, my good brother.
We are friends in the studio, but not in mind.
That's the Eastern Eye for tonight. Do join us tomorrow, same time, for another episode of the program. My name is Alex Ogbodo. Good night.